Sarah was introduced to me as a young woman that was battling breast cancer. She told me that her treatment was no longer working.
Sarah told us she did have a husband, James, as well as a 15-month-old daughter named Mindy.
I have never seen Sarah without either a cancer scarf on her head or a wig. Sarah must have messaged me 100 times. The stalker had followed her to the gym, to the supermarket, was driving in front of her home.
Supposedly there were police involved.
I received a text message from Sarah that said, "This stalker has a gun. She's chasing me." I said, "Just run, run, hide."
I came across a record where Sarah had lost her nursing license because she was faking pregnancies. When I read that, every hair on my body stood up. You can fake a pregnancy, and you can definitely fake a husband and fake having cancer. The first thing I said to Sarah, I said, "James isn't true. He doesn't exist."
And she said no.
And I said, "Mindy doesn't exist, does she?"
And she said no.
And I said, "The shooting certainly never happened." And of course she said no.
Sarah told me that she had muscular dystrophy. There was horseback riding and archery, zip lining. We would take care of all of her needs. I was the one to change her feminine products multiple times a day. I felt like we were very close. When I heard the news that Sarah was faking her disability, there were just tons of anger.
I have a lying addiction. Around 25, 26 is when I told my first big lie, that I had cancer. By lying, I was getting attention. I started off with like a husband and 2 kids. It took a lot of mental brain power to keep up the charade. I can't remember the last time that I met someone and told them my real truth.
You want to figure this out, right?
I do.
About why you do this, and you say it's a compulsion.
Yeah, because I don't even know the last time that I've been honest with a friend or someone that I've met.
You know, one of the things that I've had to deal with, and I'm curious what you guys think about this, one of the things I've had to deal with from a forensic psychology standpoint is the difference between an irresistible impulse and an impulse not resisted. I've had to make those determinations before in criminal cases. An irresistible impulse where you have no control. It just takes you over and you have no ability to resist the impulse whatsoever. It just takes you over and you become a passenger. Versus an impulse that is just not resisted. You just choose not to resist the impulse. It presents itself and you say yes, no, yes. So what are you saying here? Are you saying that your lying is an irresistible impulse or an impulse not resisted?
I mean, I can't resist it. No matter what I do, it just takes over my life. I feel like even when I tell myself I want to choose to be honest, I cannot be honest with myself or with people.
So you say it is an irresistible impulse?
Yes.
That you have no ability to edit yourself. You have no ability to pump the brake. You have no ability to choose right or wrong. So you are a total sociopath.
No, I think I don't know. I just feel like I want to be honest with people, and no matter how hard I try.
Do you know right from wrong?
I believe I know what the difference.
So
yes.
at the time that you're telling these people here, that the time that you're telling Brian that you're James and you're feeling left out, do you know the difference between right and wrong? Do you know that's wrong?
I know.
Or does that even occur to you?
Yeah, I know that it's wrong.
You know it's wrong.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that that's an irresistible impulse, that just comes on you and you have no choice but to type that up and send it to Brian. No. And guilt-induce him for making you, who don't exist, feel left out.
No, that's a choice.
So it's not an irresistible impulse. It is a premeditated way to leverage them into giving you something more.
I didn't really see the similarities at first, that Sarah was trying to copy me. My friends started saying that she was obsessed with me, and brought to my attention it was exactly like that movie, Single White Female. They said she's basically just trying to be you. Sarah really started to kind of take on a lot of my, quirky personality. I tend to use the word badass a lot. And all of a sudden, the word badass, it was every other word out of her mouth. Sarah started obsessing over triathlon. Sarah would show up week after week. I noticed she was just starting to accumulate a strikingly similar wardrobe. She had tried these shoes on when she visited me, and when she showed up the following week, she had these shoes. And she replaced the laces with the same laces. I have this kit from a team that I'm on. Sarah really liked this, and she went out and purchased the entire line. She was no longer using the bicycle helmet that she had. She had gone out and purchased this bicycle helmet. When she left, she said, hey, guess what? I got the same watch. And I thought, wow, that's incredible. When I heard that Sarah was in town this past weekend for the triathlon, my heart about skipped a beat. I went to the race and watched and took pictures, honestly, in shock. I found out later that Sarah had posted a new profile and put a picture standing on the podium in first place, claiming that she, quote unquote, rocked it. I really did wonder if her motive for all of this was just to kind of insert herself in my life. Sarah being completely intertwined in my life is no doubt the understatement of the year.
And the lies just kept getting more and more complex. I mean, this is not just kind of stretch the truth a time or two. I mean, this is if you put that much effort into improving yourself and actually creating relationships, you could be the mayor. I mean, this is a lot of work. To destroy people's lives. I mean, this is complex. I mean, how do you keep it straight, right?
Don't know. Nope.
Well, Sarah's mother's here, joining us in the audience. She says that she hasn't been able to trust her daughter for years and fears her daughter will never find happiness until she's really honest with herself. So, Connie, I'm glad you're here, and this has to be painful for you, but you have to be concerned. If she's doing this now, where is this going to unwind to in the future? What do you think about all? You know her better than anybody, I assume.
Well, I thought I did, but I mean, she tells me stories, and I guess I'm naive, so I believe her. Like when she went to Liz's, to Florida, she told me she's going down there, and Liz was helping her train. I didn't know she was going down there and interrupting, your family, and I'm really sorry she did that. And the MDA, when she told me she was going down there as a helper, I had no idea she was going down there as a patient.
And you've never had an issue with lying and being dishonest with people, right?
No.
Because we do kind of deep dives on people, and you have absolutely no history of this at all.
No, I do not.
But you had no idea that she's doing these things at all?
No, I just thought what she was doing was making her happy, and I wanted her to be happy.
How did you feel when her nursing license was suspended?
I didn't know they were.
Well, this is the first you're hearing of that?
Yeah, they got suspended in Virginia. Yeah, I never knew that. She went from Virginia to Wisconsin, and then she went from Wisconsin to work in the hospitals. But I didn't know one license was suspended, so she went to a different state.
So you did know it then?
Well, she told me she lost her license in Oklahoma because she surrendered them, so they suspended her.
Now, Michelle is also joining us in the audience. She is a breast cancer survivor of 9 years. She says Sarah, who claimed to also have stage 4 breast cancer, was a huge support system for her when she was battling disease. So thanks for joining us. I appreciate you being here. You have a real problem with what she's doing.
Oh, yes, I do. Sarah, look at me. I bet you never thought you were going to see me again after you blocked me on March 10th, did you? But I told you in my little Facebook post, be like honest Michelle. Karma was coming for you. It's here. I had no idea that Dr. Phil was going to be right beside it, but it's here. The jig is up. You need to pay for what you have done. Dr. Phil, that list that was on your screen, that's not even the half of it. International groups you have infiltrated. You are a parasitic psychopath. And you need to pay for what you have done. The law needs to come after you. And Dr. Phil, I don't know what you can do to stop her, but Sarah's not going to be the last one that tries to pull the wool over people's eyes. You've infiltrated a sacred circle, and you are worse than cancer. Do you hear me? I am here for every single one of the survivors that are no longer with us, my friends that probably won't be here with us next year, some of whom you met. You've shared a dining table with me. You've laughed. You've infiltrated, I feel, that circle. And through me, you've got to my friend, and you took my friend away from me for over a year. You have to pay.
I'm the incurable optimist. And I'm going to talk to you based not on what I think you deserve, but based on what I think you need. Okay?
Okay.
Because I don't think that these folks have a lot of compassion to give. But so, as I say, I'm going to talk to you not about what you deserve, but what you need. You want to know why you lie. There are reasons people lie. People don't just lie out of the blue. There are reasons that people lie. You're going to have to come to grips, come to terms with why your self-esteem is so low. And until you do that, you're going to continue to steal what healthy people earn, which is respect, fellowship, unity. You know, the number one fear that people have is rejection, and the number one need is acceptance. And you're running from that because you don't have any confidence in yourself at all. And for whatever reason, you're sabotaging yourself every step of the way through your life. And you need to figure out what your internal dialogue is that tells you that you have to cheat and lie and steal in order for people to allow you to be around. And until you figure that out and determine some self-worth, you're going to continue to do this. You're not going to stop if you don't face the fact that somehow or another your personal truth is damaged and your self-worth is on the floor. I can't diagnose you here, but I can tell you that on the short list of considerations would be a really severe personality disorder, most likely a borderline personality disorder, which is something that describes you pretty well, which is a pattern of disorganized, unstable relationships, disorganized, unstable self-image and emotions. There's a lot of anger, impulsiveness, frequent mood swings, and possibly brief psychotic episodes. These people are often intelligent. They can appear warm and friendly and competent until their defensive structure starts to break down. I think you are seriously depressed. I think you have serious problems with anxiety. I think you have a severe personality disorder. I think you lack empathy. And I think your self-worth is in the floor. And until you deal with those issues, you're going to continue to victimize anybody that has the misfortune of coming into your space. And I am willing to offer you that help.
And I would accept that help.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.